Hi there, welcome to another Star Wars Destiny Spirit of Rebellion booster pack, booster box unboxing thing. You know how these things are. So this is my third box that I'm going to be opening today. I went a bit mad when they were announced because it's a great game and I just did not have enough cards. So trying to make sure that that doesn't happen again. So let's get cracking. Yeah. So here we go with the first pack. And we have an Astromech. Good stuff. My last box I opened had absolutely loads of support cards in it. I had Slave 1 and the Quad Jumper as the two of the legendaries. Ooh, the A180 Blaster. Now this is an interesting card with the 3 different specials, meaning that you can kind of do 2 damage to, in any kind of way you want, which is kind of cool. I also just noticed this swiftness card as I was just kind of organising things. It's an ambush. Think of this in Han Solo decks. It's an ambush, and then you give the next card you play the ambush keyword. I think that's great. For 1 resource, if you couple that with the infamous support, in 1 turn you can have Han Solo from no shields to 3 shields for the cost of 1 resource. I reckon that's pretty good. And still have an action after that, because you'll have ended up with 2 extras. Cool. Aurra Sing. I'm so glad in this set that they've introduced so many of everyone's favourite characters from the animated world, and obviously she was in the Phantom Menace briefly, the back of her head at least. Yeah, I think this is probably one of the best character cards in this set. Actually, 3 damage sides, which is great, and you can discard cards. So if you're not up against a mill deck and you're doing pretty well with cards, you can make that into a pretty horrendous looking die. Probably only run her as a single card. You don't want to be discarding so many cards that you're wanting to discard 2 cards a turn just to get the bonus on resolving her, which is about right for 14. Pair her up with something pretty nice, someone with a bit more health maybe. Yeah, no, I rate that card in this set. I think she's going to be pretty useful going forward. Anyway, let's crack on. Got a Royal Guard. I have mixed feelings about this guy. Decent amount of melee sides. I never use the Guardian keyword because I'd rather just not take damage. So yeah, anyway. Aha, Force Lightning. So in my first box, this is the 3rd one I've opened so far of this set. My first box, my very first legendary was Emperor Palpatine, so I'm pretty happy to have his combo upgrade card. Pretty scary stuff, but man, resources. I think actually this set in general, there's a lot of dice sides that require resources. Damage for a cost type die, and I don't like that. I find it really annoying when I'm playing that. Oh shit! I've got to get. Excuse my language. You've got to get some more resources, and even though you got the car out. Anyway, Mon Mothma, my second one of her. Pretty nice. Mostly just happy to see her, existing in card form. Obviously got the potential to get into some of the Hero Mill decks. People are doing. Law of Power. It seems to be pretty common. I think I've got 3 of these now. There's one in every box. So I have a feeling that the physical side of the game, as in people who actually play with the cards and not on Tabletop Simulator, I reckon Law of Power is going to be a wash everywhere. It's not necessarily a bad thing. Maz's Goggles, another legendary. So I picked one of these in my last box. Not that keen on it. I think it's a pretty poor card from a legendary point of view. But hey, it's still decent. It has its place. Lone Operative, nice. So this is the second one of these that I've pulled across my boxes. Pretty nice. Can never argue with an upgrade card that gives you a bit of everything. Basically, it's going to fit quite nicely into Hero Mill decks as well. We are Personal Shield. Meh. What's that Force Illusion card? Have I seen that before? Before attached character takes damage, you may discard cards from the top of your deck equal to that damage to block it, then discard this upgrade from play. I guess that's alright if you're going up against a pretty heavy damage deck, but I never like discarding cards to avoid damage. Well, I just don't like discarding cards. I guess to avoid damage is as good as reason to discard them as any. Aha, Darth Vader shows up finally. This is another card that I think is not quite as good as it should be. I don't like the special, and I don't like the character cost, especially for Elite. 17 puts it at a kind of prohibitive cost level. I think, personally. I don't quite see what team that goes in. I don't see it as being a better card than, let's say, Dooku or Grievous, and therefore it won't get played very much. A bit like Jyn, I think, again, she's overcosted. 15 and 20 is too much. Yeah, but hey, we'll see how it shakes down. But yeah, always happy to see Jyn. I'd really like it if FFG could get their dice back in the dice holder bit, because I really like that. It made it so much easier to open the packs too. Anyway, Rebel Commando. Pretty solid, although again, I struggle to get excited about cards that I don't think will see any play. Con Artist, that will definitely see some play. That has the potential to be a very scary card. For both you and for your opponent, because as soon as you start doing some serious damage with it, you're going to have that character killed. Nice, Vibro Knife, the holdout blaster of this set, as I say. Yeah, I think I've now got 3 of those guys, so maybe some trades going on. I wonder how many of them there are in circulation. The holdout blaster seems to be actually quite rare. To me at least, like, I didn't know that many people who had them. Another Lone Operative, that's 2 for this box. Excellent stuff. I reckon we're going to hit on to our 3rd legendary pretty soon. Ticking along. The Ascension Gun. I haven't pulled one of these yet. I really like this because the way I play, I don't really claim the battlefield a great deal, but sometimes you really want to. And obviously this is for the battlefield that you don't have in play. So even if you brought a battlefield that's quite important to you, but as in important to you for the few occasions that you need it, rather than it be an integral part of your, every time you wanting to be claiming the battlefield. That's pretty good. You can get your battlefield claimability out there and do whatever it is that it needs to do for your game. Guaranteeing your Hyperloop potentially, but obviously we don't like people who play Hyperloop. Makashi training for another fast hands. It's always nice to see. I think I've got a couple of those now. Okay. Smuggling Freighter. I still think that takes the title as the worst card in the game, because it just doesn't make any sense. Okay. Obi-Wan. Awesome. So excited to see him in his hermit form. It's a pretty nice card here. The Guardian ability is pretty cool. Getting a blue card from your hand or discard pile for free is pretty nice. So you could get one with the Force. Is it one with the Force? The upgrade that becomes a support when the character is killed. So you could get that for free. Even if you discarded it out of your first hand, that would be pretty sweet. And obviously because he's got the Guardian ability, you can kill him. Kind of, yeah. Anyway, yeah, pretty nice dice. Still, character cost is what's killing a lot of the characters that we're seeing in this set, in my opinion at least. I think they're almost universally one character cost higher than you want them to be. So that makes things a bit difficult. Anyway, Death Trooper. Pretty cool. I haven't got a direct Krennic yet. But I do now have 2 Death Troopers. So hopefully when Krennic shows up, that'll sit quite nicely, because you can get the extra die with his ability. Key-weapon placement. Pretty nice. Again, works for people who have the battlefield. I like this card as well. To Turner, spending 2 resources to get another die. For example, the Death Trooper there, you had Krennic with an extra Death Trooper die, with a Death Trooper as his sidekick, with the training on it. That's a lot of pretty serious dice going on there. That's going to be so consistent, getting damage out. Delta 7 Interceptor. I think I picked up one of these already. Pretty nice to see a vehicle support in the blue hero decks. It's going to balance things out a little bit. Although I know a lot of people don't really like playing supports too much because they think it slows them down. But that's alright. Like I said, I don't like claiming the battlefield too much. Just do it every now and again. The Guavian Enforcer. Yet again, a little bit like the hired gun from the first set. This is the hired gun of this set. As in, it's pretty nice, and its health to character cost ratio is very much in the sweet spot. It's got some shield removal on it. Just a shame to see so many modified sides on its die, but no, I reckon that's got a pretty solid place in there. Maybe as a cheap way to get yellow into your deck, because we all know that the yellow cards pretty much way ahead of everything else in terms of their overall scariness. Lightsaber Pike there, yeah. I don't think it takes the place of Kylo Ren's lightsaber, that's for sure, not for a 3 cost. We'll see how things shake down. Nice, DT-29 Heavy Blaster Pistol. With a special that's going to confuse everyone, as I've talked about before. I think it's a pretty solid 2 cost weapon. It'd be nice if one of those +2 was just a non-modified 2. That would probably make it the best 2 cost weapon there is out there. Overkill, speaking of 2 cost upgrades, I guess it's an ability, but I mean, it's a weapon, isn't it? Modified. So you need, whatever you're going to put that in, you need to be consistently hitting range damage elsewhere on your other dice, or have the ability to focus your other dice to make overkill really worthwhile. Yeah, but it's an interesting card. It's going to change things a little bit. Unkar Plutt. I've got the 2 of these now, which is nice. I think he's pretty good at 13 cost as an elite. Yeah, pretty good if you've rolled dice that have got decent numbers, but aren't giving you what you want. He gives you the chance to do something else with those dice. Okay. The U-Wing. More support vehicles. Maybe there's just more of these in this set than in the previous one. It seems like I'm pulling quite a lot of them. You see, pretty much a standard 5 cost. I guess if you were running a red-yellow deck, then the quad jumper, with its ability to switch out to save you 3 resources on an upgrade, would be a perfect stepping stone to get to this, because this is a pretty scary card. I reckon it's possibly the best of the 5 cost support vehicles, just because of 2 3 sides and the special. Something that you kind of want to have out reasonably early. And it's one of the things that a lot of the supports that are the high cost cards, they kind of feel like you want them early, but you can only ever really get to them quite late game. Unless you're basing your entire strategy over getting a lot of resources very early, which I think is a bad move personally. You're giving shields to each of your characters and doing damage to each of an opponent's characters. Probably by the time you've got 5 resources that you haven't used, or you've managed to save up, one of those things is not going to be quite as amazing as it would have been right at the start. You're going to have killed an opponent's character, or you're going to lost one of your own, and that sucks. So 2 legendaries in a row. We got the rocket launcher. That becomes so scary to discard a vehicle from play for essentially 4 resources once you've hit the special. But it's a lot to do it, but it's could work out pretty well if there's a vehicle causing you serious harm. And we've got 4 packs left, and there's another legendary hanging out there somewhere. And another Snap Wexley. I say another, I think I've had one of these in every box of the 3 that I've opened so far, which is fine. He'll be something to trade with. Hopefully people will want some Snap. Sarge Ventress. She appeared in my previous box. I'm really happy to see her in card form, but 12-9, 15-9. I mean, it's yeah, she costs too much. Again, you know, for a 12/15 cost, you know, she's not better than Dooku or Kylo Ren. Yeah, well, maybe she's a bit better than Kylo Ren, but she's definitely easier to kill than Kylo Ren. So, Luminara Unduli. It's the first time she's shown up in one of my boxes. Again, character cost to health. It's 13-17 character cost for 10 health. Just not sure that is that's going to work out for me. But that special is pretty nice, and yeah, it's going to allow you to backdoor some serious extra damage every now and again, which is always nice. So, C-3PO, excellent. I reckon he's one of the best one-cost cards in the game for sure, just because of his action. Once you've got him out, he's never, you know, whatever he rolls, there's 2 blanks on that die, but it doesn't matter because he just changes the way that you play once you've got him onto the table. Force Push. I think this is great. This basically retires Force Throw, in my opinion, for a 3-cost blue upgrade. But you know, I do like the ability to pick up my opponent's dice and hit them with them. That's always pretty nice. So this is the last pack of the box, and I'm pretty sure that this has to be a legendary, unless FFG have screwed me. So here we go. They haven't screwed me. It's a Bowcaster. The card just redeemed by its redeploy. If that didn't have redeploy, it would be far too expensive. But it does, so we're all good. Awesome. Okay, so I'll just run through the legendaries that we've got here. So we've got Chewie. We've got the Bowcaster. I'll move these down here. The U-Wing, Kenobi, which is exciting. We've got Maz's Goggles, which is less exciting. And we've got Force Lighting, which is pretty exciting. What other highlights have we got out of here? I reckon the Ascension gun is going to see its way into quite a lot of my yellow decks, just because it gives you the flexibility to make the battlefield more important in your deck, which is nice. Aura Singh, she's going to be doing quite a bit of work when I play, I reckon. And Darth Vader, like I said when I found him, when I picked him out, I don't think he's going to. I don't think I'm going to play with him that much, but it's, you know, it's cool to have him. Yeah. And also a pretty big fan of the A110 blaster here, just because of its flexibility on the special. It allows you to do a lot of different things, and having a little disrupt on there, cheeky, nice. Anyway, I think that'll just about do it for this this box opening. So there's going to be a few more on the channel, so stick around and maybe I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.